Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel Mr. Football Balloons, and today I'm doing Game Week 34 predictions of the Premier League, and they're going to be starting off on the 20th of April. It is at Kenilworth Road. It's Luton Town versus Brentford. This one's going to be a very close game. Brentford, Thomas Frank was relieved. Finally a win. They haven't got a win for such a long time. Brentford definitely staying up now. Comfortable 2-0 win against Sheffield United. The last 4 games undefeated. Brentford, they're definitely playing well enough to stay up, and I feel like they're not going to lose this. Going against Luton Town are in 18th, Brentford will not lose this game, but I don't think they'll win it because going to Kenilworth Road is never an easy job whatsoever. Luton Town obviously did lose 5-1 against Manchester City, but it's against Manchester City. It's very rare that Luton has an absolute thrashing, so you can allow a one-off. But overall, Luton Town, they still won against Bournemouth, and they played well that time. And Luton Town, desperate at home, but Brentford pretty good. I'm going to have to go down the middle. I really don't know who to go for here. So I'm going to have to go down the middle, and I'm going 2-2 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, is at Bramall Lane. It's a huge one. Sheffield United versus Burnley. Huge one to predict here. Burnley, Muric. What is going on with the goalkeeper? Mistake after mistake. 2 huge mistakes, costing Burnley around 3 points in total. In the last 2 games. They could be 3 points better off if it wasn't for Muric. But Muric is still a fine goalkeeper. You know, goalkeepers make mistakes. I mean, if he makes another one, then there's probably a bit of concern to say. But overall, I think it's just a little blip in Muric's time. But Burnley, they look decent against Brighton. They got another point in that game. You know what, they're starting to pick up points after points. I know Sheffield United went on a good run recently, but they haven't got a win in a very long time. Neither has Burnley really. The last one was against Brentford. It's hard to predict. Easy thing to say is go sit on the fence. But in my opinion, Burnley still have a chance. As long as Nottingham Forest doesn't get their appeal and they get an extra 4 points, Burnley still have a chance. And Burnley, they look good against Brighton. They're definitely looking good in recent time. Sorry, Sheffield United, but you're down. And I think Burnley are going to win this 2-1 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's at the Molyneux Stadium. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Arsenal. Huge one. Arsenal lost it 2-0 against Aston Villa. Now, I did actually predict Arsenal to blip up in the title race. I said they'll lose it 3-1 against Brighton, but I was 1 week too early. I should have said 3-1 to Aston Villa or 2-0 to Aston Villa like it came out. I did predict that Arsenal were going to blip up just a tad bit early. But Arsenal against Wolves, now, obviously, you would want to go Arsenal, but had they lost their confidence? I don't think they would have, because Liverpool also blipped up, and they're probably thinking, you know what, we're still in it. Even after blipping up, because Liverpool did, we can still go for it. And in my opinion, Arsenal are obviously better than Wolves. Wolves did well to get a 2-2 draw against Nottingham Forest, but their form hadn't been too amazing. I wouldn't be surprised for a draw. I did originally have this down as a 1-1, but I didn't want to make the same mistakes I did against Brighton. So I am going to go 3-1 to Arsenal, but it'll be a very close game, and I wouldn't be too surprised for a draw. Moving on to the next game, is a whole new day. It's the 21st of April. It's at Goodison Park. It's Everton versus Nottingham Forest. Another relegation battle game, but Everton 6-0. 6-0. 6-0 against a Chelsea side that's been inconsistent all throughout the season. Now, one good thing about Everton is they've got a good defensive record. Not anymore. Well, they still have a decent one, but it's worsened because they've conceded 6 goals against Chelsea. Not only can they not score, but they cannot defend amazingly. Although Pickford did give Chelsea a goal, but there was 5 other goals. You know what, Everton? I don't see them getting thrashed again. That's not going to happen. Sean Dyche can discipline his side enough, and I feel like they'll get a clean sheet in this game. They will get a clean sheet against Nottingham Forest because Everton at home, because they wanted to bounce back, because they really do want to survive. And I know Everton can survive because they have done throughout the entirety of the Premier League campaign ever since the Premier League got invented. I am going to go down the middle. I was tempted to go Everton, but I know how good Nottingham Forest look. They probably maybe even deserved a win against Wolves, but Nottingham Forest are looking good. Everton are desperate. Everton are known for low scoring draws. So I am going to go 0-0 come the final whistle. Bit of a boring draw. Moving on to the next game, it's at Selhurst Park. It's Crystal Palace versus West Ham United. And well, Crystal Palace, I mean, they defended fantastic. To get a clean sheet at Anfield against Liverpool is amazing. Oliver Glanzer, I mean, that is some fantastic football. Honestly, he's got Crystal Palace playing some fantastic football. Hasn't properly clicked in terms of results, but now those 3 points against such a good club like Liverpool has definitely made it so Crystal Palace are staying up this season, 100%. Coming into this game, they're not going to lose it. I mean, look at it. Mitchell right at the end. The desire to just keep on going to make that block against Salah. Anderson, fantastic defensive display. And then the attack, the goal. The passing movements, the way the entirety of the Crystal Palace attack was structured. I think it was like 21 passes to make up the attack. Fluent passing. Fantastic, smooth, fluent passing. Boom, 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 boom. To Eze in the net. At least the Eze returned. And, well, they did do damage with Mateta as well. I mean, I could keep on going on how well Crystal Palace played. So they're definitely not losing this. But I wouldn't say Palace are perfect, considering they have only got 5 points in the last 5 games. And facing West Ham, which did lose 2-0 against Fulham, deservedly. I think they were the worst team in that game. It's never nice for a player to make their debut and straight away get a head injury and have to go to hospital. George Earthy, full respects to him. Hopefully get better soon. But I'm just going to have to go down the middle, to be honest. West Ham, they're facing Crystal Palace side, which are going to be very happy. Bit of momentum, so not going to be able to win it, but they are good enough to get something against Palace. So overall, I'm going down the middle, 1-1, come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game is at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa versus AFC Bournemouth. And you know what? This one is another close game, but Aston Villa dropped Arsenal's dreams down the drain after they won it 2-0. I mean, I believe they also won 1-0 earlier on in the season. So that means they managed to get 6 points against Arsenal this season. That's sensational. They're pushing for that top 4, which is Champions League. I don't know whether 5th place gets Champions League. I mean, if you know, let me know in the comments. But I'm unsure on whether 5th place gets you Champions League or not, because it's a bit different this year. But Aston Villa against Bournemouth, it's a hard one because Bournemouth, I don't know how they did not get 3 points. A bit like when Brentford faced Man United. They should have got 4 or 5 goals, Brentford. And now Bournemouth should have got 4 or 5 goals against Manchester United. I mean, what's going on? Bournemouth, sensational against Manchester United. By far the better side. They're definitely doing very well. Better than I thought. I thought they were going down. And they've completely proven me wrong. But because Aston Villa won against Arsenal, and Arsenal's Arsenal, now they've won. I feel like at home as well, I'm going to have to just about go Aston Villa. Wouldn't be surprised for a draw. But I'm going to go for a very common scoreline. 2-1 to the home side Aston Villa come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game is at Craven Cottage. It's Fulham versus Liverpool. And you know what? You could say Fulham could definitely win this. Considering Liverpool have lost their confidence a bit. Obviously lost 3-0 against Atalanta in the Europa League. I mean, what is going on there? What a terrible week it was for Liverpool. Not just that, but also losing against Crystal Palace 1-0. Again, they still had 20 plus shots. They just could not finish their beans. Well defended by Crystal Palace, as I said, and as you probably know, they had chances after chance. And you know what? Usually what happens is they would go down 1-0. It's happened multiple times. And they come back to make it 2 or 3-1. But it didn't happen that time. But I feel like they're going to have a bit of confidence. They're going to see, oh, Arsenal, they've lost it 2-0. We've still got a chance. And I feel like they can win this game. In my opinion, Fulham, full credit to them, they could definitely win this game. I was tempted to go for a draw as well. Fulham are playing fantastic, honestly. Love the front three. Love the front four. Pereira, Muniz, who's been scoring a lot. You've got Alex Iwobi and Willian. I remember him at Chelsea, and he's still playing near to that level, in my opinion. He's playing fantastic. What is he, like 35? Correct me if I'm wrong. He's playing fantastic. Fulham, full credit to them. They're a great side. But I'm going to have to go Liverpool purely because Liverpool. It's going to be 1-0 in my opinion to Fulham. Till maybe the 60th minute where Liverpool suddenly get 3 goals. It's going to be a close game for the majority of it. But Liverpool will get back on form after back-to-back losses, which hasn't happened for the last 3 years at Anfield. So I'm going to go 3-1 to Liverpool come the final whistle. And well, Game Week 34 predictions would end here. But we've got some more games because obviously the games back in Game Week 29 were all postponed because of the FA Cup. But we're going to be starting off with the 23rd of April. It is a huge London derby. It's at the Emirates Stadium. It's Arsenal versus Chelsea. Huge one, honestly. Chelsea 6-0. That's exactly what they need. And in my opinion, they can hit European football. The only team that I would really say is on good form in that kind of Europa League, Conference League battling is probably Newcastle United. West Ham haven't got many points in the last 5 games. They've been okay, but not amazing. Man United, you already know about Man United, playing that ugly brand of football. And you've got Brighton, which are playing meh, you know, not getting the results that they need. So Chelsea could easily finish in 7th or maybe 6th. One of the two, I think they definitely can. That is my prediction there. But was my prediction come to this game, I think Chelsea can get a point here. They did it earlier on in the season, and Arsenal, they're going to be under a bit of pressure. You know, obviously the Champions League as well, not too long before this. The Wolves game as well, they're going to be a bit cream-crackered, but I suppose you could say the same with Chelsea. They're playing Man City as well, but you normally, Chelsea, they play well against the top 6 sides. Considering they won at 6-0 against Everton, I think Chelsea can do it. And I haven't even mentioned, I've been talking, waffling, all this gibberish, haven't even mentioned Cole Palmer, player of the season. Quite possibly, definitely player of Chelsea's season, 100%. 4 goals, that's crazy. A bit of argument, the only negative take out there was a bit of argument between Nicholas Jackson and Cole Palmer, who's going to take it. But I'm sure they all hugged it out at the end. I think it's going to go down the middle. I think Arsenal are going to bottle the league a bit more. I don't know who's going to win it though, but I don't think they're going to definitely secure it in this game. I'm going down the middle, high scoring, 3-3 draw. Come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's a whole new day. It's the 24th of April. It is Wolverhampton Wanderers versus AFC Bournemouth. Hard one to predict this one. 2 mid-table clubs. And because of that, I'm going to have to go down the middle just on the status of that. They're both mid-table at the moment. Bournemouth are playing fantastic football. Wolves, Cunha, what a goal. Didn't mention earlier on when we talked about them playing Arsenal, but what a goal. What a player, returning straight away a goal. Wang Hee-chan's returned. I don't think Neto's returning to this game. I think he's not returning till May, something like that. But I'm going to have to go down the middle. Honestly, cannot split the sides. If there would be a winner, I would go Bournemouth because I feel like they're playing better than Wolves at the moment. But overall, it's quite hard to split them. So I'm going to go down the middle for a 1-1 draw. Come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game is at Selhurst Park. It's Crystal Palace versus Newcastle United. Obviously, Crystal Palace getting a very good win. But they're facing Newcastle United, which also got a very good win. A 4-0 win against Tottenham Hotspur. Huge. Honestly, huge. Back-to-back clean sheets. That's what's crucial for Newcastle United. Terrible defensive record in recent time in 2024. But now, back-to-back clean sheets. Another 4 goals to add. I think they've got the 4th best attacking record in Newcastle United. Honestly, Alexander Isak, the first player to get over 20 goals in a season since Alan Shearer. That is a crazy, crazy thing right there. Alexander Isak, fantastic. Anthony Gordon, fantastic. The entire team, fantastic. Honestly, really impressed with Newcastle United. I'm so happy for Newcastle, as being a Newcastle fan. And Crystal Palace, the mid-table, they don't really have anything more to fight for. I suppose you could say they still could get relegated statistically, but I don't think they will. And I feel like it's going to be a close game. I'm going for a very common scoreline, but I am going to edge Newcastle United as they have been outstanding in recent time. And I'm going to go 2-1 to the away side, Newcastle United. Moving on to the next games at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United versus Sheffield United. And am I going to go to 2 losses to Sheffield United in this video? Well, considering it's at home, Manchester United, they seem to scrape results. I always say they scrape the results in an ugly fashion. Manchester United, there are obviously some good signs, but also just the football that Erik ten Hag plays. He doesn't like to change it up. It's all been the same for a while, and it's starting to get a bit ugly in the way they play. They aren't performing amazing like they were last season. It could definitely be a draw, and sorry Sheffield United, because Manchester United at home, because in my opinion they are better than Sheffield United, I'm going to have to go only just about. Manchester United are a good enough team to get a win against Sheffield United, but I wouldn't be surprised for a draw, but I'm going for a very close 1-0 home win to Manchester United. Moving on to the next game, it is at Goodison Park. It's Everton versus Liverpool. Huge one, this one, isn't it? It's a derby. It is a derby. Liverpool versus Everton at Goodison Park. Do I also say Liverpool are going to blip up again? No, because Everton did lose 6-0 against Chelsea, which is crazy. I mean, Everton, I think they will stay up. I'm putting my opinion out there. They will stay up this season. But they're facing Liverpool. In my opinion, I don't see why Liverpool can't go on and get a comfortable win here. They played terrible against Chelsea. 0 goals scored again. Come on, Everton. Score 1. I don't think they're going to score here. I feel like Liverpool has got enough quality in this game to win this 2-0 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it is a whole new day. It's the 25th of April. It's at the Amex Stadium. It is Brighton Hounds of Albion versus Manchester City. And well, Manchester City, the title is in their hands. I mean, they've all taken in turns. All the 3 big competitors to win the title have all taken in turns. You've got, first of all, Liverpool. They had it in their hands. They had more points than all the other 2 teams, Arsenal and Man City. Then they go lose it in the Europa League, lose confidence, lose it against Crystal Palace. Arsenal now has it in their hands with all the best stats in terms of the league stats. And they go lose it to Aston Villa. Now Man City is in their hands. But Man City, they've got a lot of games to play. They've got to play Real Madrid in the second leg of the Champions League. They've got to play Chelsea in the FA Cup. And then they go here and they have to play away from home against Brighton. And you know what, Brighton? I think they could do something with Manchester City having a bit of a leaky defence. I mean, they did concede 2 goals against Crystal Palace. Made a few mistakes there. They did also concede 3 against Real Madrid. And you know what? They could have conceded 2 against Luton Town. Stake for the Ross Barkley goal as well. The defence has been a bit leaky in recent time. I feel like that's going to give Brighton 2 goals. And because Brighton at home, because Man City are going to be a bit tired, because they're going to have a bit of pressure, because they're like, we've got it on their hands, they're all going to take on turns to bottle it. And I think Man City are only going to get a point in this one. And I'm going 2-2 come the final whistle. And well, who is my goal of game week 33? And well, we had a couple of contestants. You could have went to Kovacic's volley, which was an amazing volley against Luton Town. Or you could go with Cunha's. I'm going for Cunha's. Cunha's goal, fantastic. It wasn't just a top right finish. He dribbled from around the halfway mark all the way up, skilled past the defender, got past 2 of them, and then shot and scored. It was fantastic football by Cunha. He is my goal of game week 33, but how did I do in game week 33? Well, I got a total of 5 points out of a possible 20 points. Wasn't an amazing week, but it is what it is. And overall, I'm sitting on 192 points out of 646 points. Hopefully you did enjoy the video, and if you did, why not try and click that like and subscribe button and even turn on notifications. You don't have to, but it'll help me out a lot to get it pushed out to all these amazing people. But if you did enjoy the video as well, why not check out my FA Cup predictions? Go on, just click. Toodle pip.